Hello, I am Lionel Trilling, a literary critic, writer, and thinker who has long contemplated the paradoxes of human society and governance. One of my most quoted insights is this: we are at heart so profoundly anarchistic that the only form of state we can imagine living in is utopian, and so cynical that the only utopia we can believe in is authoritarian. This statement reflects the duality that resides within human nature. On the one hand, we yearn for a perfect society, one free from oppression, corruption, and coercion, a true utopia. Yet on the other hand, we are deeply skeptical of the very idea of utopia, suspecting that any attempt to achieve it must inevitably lead to authoritarianism. Let me explain how this applied in the past, how it applies now, and why it continues to resonate. In my time, this observation was rooted in the historical reality of revolutionary movements and idealistic aspirations. Across history, whether during the French Revolution, the rise of Marxism, or even the liberal democracies of the 20th century, humans have pursued utopian visions. These movements often began with the promise of freedom and equality, but frequently devolved into authoritarian regimes. Why? Because creating a perfect society requires imposing a singular vision of perfection, and that imposition demands control. It's the tension between the ideal and the practical, the anarchist's dream of freedom and the cynic's realization of power's necessity. Today, this paradox is more relevant than ever. As we grapple with existential challenges like climate change, economic inequality, and technological disruption, the call for bold, systemic change has grown louder. Movements demanding justice and equity echo the anarchist's desire for a better, freer world. Yet the solutions proposed often require centralized authority, strict regulations, and, at times, a surrender of freedoms for the greater good. We see this in debates around climate policies, surveillance technologies, and artificial intelligence governance. The anarchistic impulse resists authoritarian measures, but the cynic in us fears that without control, chaos reigns. So what does this mean for us today? It means we must remain vigilant. We must question systems that promise utopias yet rely on authoritarian measures. We must also recognize our own tendencies, to yearn for freedom while succumbing to the allure of control. If we fail to navigate this balance, we risk falling into a cycle where our desire for perfection leads us into oppression. This is not just an academic insight, it is a call to action. The information age has brought unprecedented opportunities, but also unparalleled risks. The utopian dream of an interconnected, equitable world is shadowed by the authoritarian potential of surveillance, misinformation, and unchecked technological power. Let my words remind you to critically engage with those who promise perfection, to safeguard your freedoms, and to hold power to account. For more on navigating this tension in today's world, visit information-warfare.com. Together, we can stay informed, vigilant, and free. Thank you.